mean, I'm George Huey, and after Niarma, I mean, my goodness. That sets the tone, and that's really what we wanted for this summit. For someone to come and set the tone, to give you an idea of what we are undertaking at this particular time. And for the platform for the summit, we're going to have multiple opportunities for individuals to speak and deliver messages to you, and I'll be the one hopefully facilitating that. When I heard this morning that everything was going to be captioned, I thought for the number of times that I may trip over my tongue or go into some kind of phase that's unrecognizable, bear with me, and I was assured that I would be protected. So, but just for openers, I should say that as Alphonse introduced the committee, I am in Student Affairs. My official title is Assistant Director for Diversity in Career Services. Nonetheless, I call it my home. That's where I'm housed. That's not what I do. That's not where I exist. I tend to be all over campus. I recognize a lot of familiar faces in the audience, and it's good to see you. And some faces I wish I were seeing that I don't see. Hopefully that'll change as well. But I'd also like to think that as I'm in this role, one of the things that I've thought about as the committee has gone through months and months of planning, I tried to get an idea for us to think about alternative history. And I just happened to overhear a conversation, maybe a year or so ago, about alternative history, and it was from a retired faculty member and one of our current staff members. They were talking about it, and I was ready to play racquetball, so I'm thinking, what's this conversation? Let me just get on the court. But as I began to think about it in regards to the summit, I thought, you know, it's one thing to sit in the audience and to be a part of the summit, and you will be participating, not just sitting and listening. But I thought, alternative history, why would we make it a point to, in future years, look back to say, wow, you know, at the Diversity Summit, you know, we could have, we should have, there were opportunities for. We don't have to say we could have, we should have, there were opportunities for. You're a part of what's happening now, so you can make history. And I'm hoping that with the activities today and tomorrow as a part of the summit, that you will be engaged to the extent that you will be helping make history for the campus and the community here in Boulder. So with the beginning of the program now, my job is to bring up the next individuals who will speak to you and hopefully continue to deliver the message about Ubuntu. And that's going to be the Chancellor, the City Manager, and Student Representative. So if you all would come up, please, to the table, I would appreciate that. And I will introduce them, and you'll hear from them and their messages to you. And I guess I'll take this moment to just give you what most of you probably already know about the Chancellor, Phil DiStefano. You know, he's served Boulder for 42 years. And as his appointment in May of '09, you know, he joined the university in 1974 as an assistant professor of curriculum and instruction at the School of Education. And his academic career flourished as he assumed a series of academic and administrative positions, including professor, associate dean, dean, and vice chancellor, and he was appointed provost and executive vice chancellor for academic affairs in 2001. And as the chancellor, of course, he works closely with students, faculty, staff, alumni, donors, governing officials, and business and community leaders in extending CU's legacy as a preeminent national comprehensive research university. As a first-generation college graduate, Dr. DiStefano earned a Bachelor's of Science degree from Ohio State University and a Master's of Arts degree in English Education from West Virginia University. He holds a doctorate in Humanities Education from the Ohio State University, where he served as teaching and research associate. With that, I introduce you to Dr. Phil DiStefano.
Thank you, George, and good morning to all of you. I'm very grateful that you're here today, and I'm very thankful for the many contributions that you've all made to foster excellence and equity at CU. I want to begin by, again, thanking the Diversity Planning Committee. Especially I want to thank our Vice Chancellor, Bob Boswell, Associate Vice Chancellor Alphonse Keesley, and the entire staff of the CU Boulder Office of Diversity, Equity, and Community Engagement. And also to thank the Chancellor's 4 standing advisory committees on race and ethnicity, the Chancellor's Committee for Women, the Campus Accessibility Committee, and the Standing Committee on Gender and Sexuality. I want to just make a couple of brief points. The first is the exchange of ideas and knowledge among people of diverse backgrounds and perspectives is really a hallmark of education, of all of education, and one that we're committed to at the University of Colorado Boulder. And I'm reminded what Nelson Mandela said. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And that's why we're all here. And as most of you know, Equity and Excellence is a major initiative on our campus. We want to embrace diversity and elevate inclusivity in all our work so it becomes a part of who we are. There was a time in which we measured our diversity goals by numbers. While we still pay attention to numbers, we have moved past that to focus on how we treat people once they are here. And this is the spirit of Ubuntu that you heard earlier. We know that a healthy campus social climate is the foundation to student success. Everyone, students, faculty, staff, and visitors, should feel engaged, valued, and supported in our community. Everyone should thrive and reach their full potential at CU Boulder. And you know, our students recognized this, what we've just been talking about 12 years ago. They're ahead of us. They're always ahead of us. When they came up with the Colorado Creed. And the Creed says, in everything we do, we will act with honor, integrity, and accountability, respecting the rights of others and contributing to the greater good of the community. And you see those words in various places all around campus. And we need to recognize the importance each of us has in shaping the culture of the campus and the community by the way we interact with each other. It's the simple things we do to engage and inspire others daily that makes the difference in building a welcoming and inclusive culture. Dialogue about achieving a diverse and inclusive community cannot be limited just to this annual summit, but instead it must be part of our daily conversation. Inclusivity must be woven into the fabric and fiber and really be a part of who we are. Achieving inclusive excellence is not the job of one office, one vice chancellor, or one chancellor. It's not the sole prerogative of our student leaders or our city manager. It's everyone's moral imperative. So our work together continues today and tomorrow at the summit, but it needs to be work, as I said, that we do every day to achieve our goals as a campus and as a community. As we talk about Ubuntu, I also think about Desmond Tutu. And he said, do your little bit of good work where you are. It's those little bits of good that overwhelm the world. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next presenter is going to be Jane Brodigam, who is the city manager. And she was appointed city manager in October of 2008 and is the city's first woman manager in its 90-year history. And before joining the city of Boulder, Brodigam was city manager of Dublin, Ohio. Previously, she worked as city manager and city attorney for Loveland, Colorado, the city attorney and assistant city attorney for Greenwood Village, Colorado, and as assistant county attorney for Boulder County from 1980 to 1985. She earned her Bachelor of Arts in History from Allegheny College and a law degree from the University of Pennsylvania Law School. And as a city manager, she manages the day-to-day business of the city government, sets strategic direction to achieve the city's community sustainability goals, implements council-determined policies, coordinates community issues between departments, and supervises the work of departments. I present to you Jane Brodickham.
So I have a speech too, but I'm probably going to divert substantially from the words that I've written because I really can't follow Phil. That was really beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So the city of Boulder is a wonderful place, and yet over the last few years, I think that we in the organization, hearing and listening to our community, have begun to realize that when it comes to issues of respect, diversity, inclusion, we can do better. And I want to thank the University of Colorado at Boulder for holding this annual summit because it's always an annual reminder. The thing is that an annual reminder is sort of not good enough. We need to live it every single day. And so special thanks from me goes out to Phil, DiStefano, and Christina Gonzalez, who I met with about a year ago to talk about issues of inclusion and diversity in our community. And one of the things that they brought home to me is the idea that so many of us believe in this, want to live it out, and yet it has to start in your own heart and your own internal reflection. And so they were able to help us provide some resources for our management team in the city of Boulder to start reflecting on what implicit biases we have just as individuals. It's been actually a life-changing experience for me to understand these things about myself, about my coworkers, and I see that we all can do better. And when I look across our city and our nation and see the anger that exists here, I realize that a lot of people haven't done the internal work that they need to do yet. And so I actually am wanting to encourage all of you here today to join with me, our management team at the city, and your leadership here at the University of Colorado to do a lot of self-reflection about what it means to be inclusive, what it means to treat others with kindness, what it means to have people belong. I was at a conference about a year ago and saw a wonderful speaker who was talking about diversity, and I really always try to go to those because I know I need to hear and practice more. And what she said about it really hit me because I was thinking about we're doing work at the city to make our central area a much more vibrant area in the city, our central park. And so I was thinking, how do we make a place that everybody wants to come to? And what she said is that when you are a person, no matter who you are, when you come to a place, a public place, you want to feel like the people that planned that place already knew you were going to be there. They made it a place where you felt immediately like you belonged, like you were expected. And so that's something that I think a lot about, and I really appreciate all of the words that Niyarma had for us today about belonging and about humanity, because at the end of the day, that is so much about what it is, our interrelatedness, our belongingness. The city of Boulder right now is undertaking an effort, sort of a public effort. We have a working group that's talking about how we engage our community more effectively and more deeply. A thing that we hear is that we're not, as a city, listening hard enough, that we come to meetings with preconceived notions and we're just there to sort of hear what they have to say and then go on and do what we wanted to do. That's not okay. It's not okay for the city. It's not okay in any aspect of our lives at the university or whatever. And so that's another commitment that I'm making right now, is to listen harder to other people and understand their perspective, where they're coming from, so that we don't make preconceived notions about who they are or what they want or what's good for them. We need to listen to what they need. So that's hard work, actually. Listening is pretty hard. But again, I want to end just by thanking the university for opening my eyes a bit to all of this, and in particular, Phil and Christina, who really brought it home with some stories that they told. So thanks to you guys so much. And yeah, I am because we are.
Thank you, Jane. Appreciate those words. As we were putting together the program, we thought there's going to be representation from the institution, there's going to be representation from the city, but we also thought it very important to have a student voice included. And we have representing the students, Colton Lyons. And Colton is your student body president of Student Affairs. And in this position, he works and fights for students in regards to voicing their opinions and concerns to administration, faculty, and staff. Colton's mother is a proud CU alum, and as a result, he's had a strong commitment and passion for the university from a very young age. Didn't realize that, Colton, okay. From this passion for CU, Colton is driven to get more students involved with student government. That way their voices can be heard at the university, local, state levels. Colton also wants to help restore Buff pride on campus in hopes of building a strong Buffalo community. Colton is a senior majoring in political science with a minor in business analytics and hopes to go into law school following his completion of his undergraduate degree. Colton Lyons.
Thank you all for coming out today. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Fall 2016 Diversity Inclusion Summit. CU Student Government has made it a priority to foster a safe and welcoming social climate here at CU Boulder. Our hope is that the Diversity Inclusion Summit will assist us in this goal. The summit will bring together members from City Council, business leaders, campus administrators, students, faculty, and staff to foster conversations that are crucial to achieve inclusive excellence in our community. As a community, we must embrace every student, staff, and faculty, recognizing that a truly diverse community includes individuals from a range of ethnic, regional, cultural, and economic and religious backgrounds, as well as first-generation students, persons with disabilities, students who are parents, people of different sexual and gender orientations, people of different ages and political viewpoints, and many others. We must come together and make sure that every person on this campus feels engaged, valued, and supported. This doesn't just end on campus, this extends to the Boulder community as well. The goal of the Diversity Inclusion Summit is to provide a safe space for students, faculty, and staff, and community members to discuss issues that affect our diverse and inclusive community. These discussions will provide attendees applicable skills for more productive interactions across our human differences. These skills will help us come together as a university to solve the problems that face our ever-growing society. The Diversity Summit is a unique opportunity that will allow student voices not only to be heard, but most importantly, be valued on our campus and our community. Whether that be students asking questions, making remarks, or starting conversations, CU Student Government is beyond excited to see the impact students will be making this year. I'd like to thank Chancellor DiStefano, the CU Diversity Summit Planning Committee, and a special thanks to Narul, who's the Director of Diversity and Inclusion for Student Government, for all the hard work they put in planning this summit. Thank you again for coming out today. I look forward to the impactful conversations that will be taking place over the next couple of days.
Thank you for that nice round of applause for our speakers, and we're going to transition now, but thank you all very much and for your kind words and words of wisdom.